Maybe what areas are you looking to grow from what you saw a couple of weeks ago?
Obviously, this is a big meet for us. I think on the men's side as well. So this is one of our major meets. A lot of teams are coming. SEC foes will be here. So obviously, we're looking to get some national qualifiers and have a solid meet. So Friday, focus will be on the DMR. Um, we have a couple of really good girls that's going to run the Open 8. So we're looking to be really good there. And then obviously the 200 is going to be a premier event for us as well. So and on Saturday, obviously the 400s are going to be big for us. We had the mile and some other sprint events, the hurdles, and it's going to be all encompassing. This is a very important meet for us, and this is really the first really big meet of the season for us. So we're looking to get a lot of things done.
Yeah, this meet traditionally has been one of the best in the country for national qualifying marks for many years. So it's a lot of powerful teams, good teams. Brings great competition in here to Fayetteville, and we generally get a lot of stuff done this weekend. And like this week, we're competing 9 athletes that we have not competed yet this year. 6 of them have never even been in a Razorback uniform. So we've got a lot of unknown things, but I think we're in a solid position, and I think we're ready to go.
Chris Bucknam told me the other day that Rivaldo wasn't feeling real well during the last meet. Was that just a matter of he wasn't feeling well that night, and how's he responded to that?
Yeah, he just didn't feel good that night. It was basically during race time. I think I don't know if he just got ill feeling right before the race. And the funny thing is, he said to me, because they went through at a certain pace, 119 through the 600. And he goes, I felt like I was jogging. So that was good news to me. He just didn't have the juice to go at the end like, a guy like him normally would. So, yeah, he's in great shape. He's in phenomenal shape. He's ready to go. The guy's a fierce competitor. So, um, we're gonna put him out there in the 800 this week and see what he can do.
And you mentioned all the guys who are competing for the first time this weekend. Jordan Anthony's one of those. What's his training look like? And I mean, what's the excitement to see him on the track?
Well, I'm fired up, and I think he's fired up, and it's been a while, since he's run. The last race he ran was indoor nationals last year. But he hasn't really had consistent training, I would say, for probably 2 years. And he now I feel like he's had a good block of training. He's had a solid, almost 2 months now, and he's made some pretty good gains. Now he's a tremendous athlete. He has great natural ability, but to do some of the events we're asking him to do, you got to get in shape, and I feel like he's getting close, man. He's really close.
Evan, did you have a question?
Yeah, I got a couple. Coach Johnson, I'll start with you. Curious, Senator Jella Lockhart, really, huge race the other week. Where have you really seen her grow the most in the last couple of weeks, and especially leading into this weekend?
Uh, I see growth in just her maturity and the way she handled races. And obviously, she wanted to run faster, and her goal was to break the collegiate record in the 600. And obviously, that didn't happen. But the number 2 time all time was a fantastic run. Got a little tripped up in that race, but I think growth and maturity and really having an understanding of what's at stake, right? So we're going to take one race at a time, one meet at a time, but very excited about the potential. Much like Doug said, hey, this young lady's in really, really good shape. It's
And
really about hello.
yeah, sorry, my bad. Thought you were done.
Okay.
Zooming a
This
little.
this young lady's in really, really good shape. It's just a matter of how well she executes the races and not get ahead of herself.
Yeah, and Coach Case kind of talked about some new faces on the men's side. What about the women's side? Is there anyone new this weekend to Razorback fans that they should look out for, or is it kind of a lot of women that people have already seen at least once or twice?
A lot of a lot of women that people are already seeing. I don't think we have any new person that's going to open up this weekend. Obviously, some of the distance runners will open up that didn't open up in the past meet, but no new faces. But a lot of people that people have seen before. But I think they'll be new and improved, if you will.
And my last question for you, at least, Coach Johnson, is Anna Pottigill coming off her first race last week. Where do you see, kind of the ceiling with her and being able to keep up with some of these elite Olympic athletes?
Well, obviously, Anna was a really, really good athlete in high school and track and field. She ran with us the COVID year, and then obviously that year got ended, and it just didn't work out for her to come back during that time. And she wanted to come back and still had a burning in her gut to be a track and field athlete. But I mean, I'm very impressed with what she's done. I mean, the first time stepping on the track and run 1:26 for, excuse me, for 600 meters. I mean, that's phenomenal. I mean, I think she's in top 15 all time. So, I mean, we're looking for her to go out and make an impact on my team and possibly qualify for nationals in 800. But she's got a big task ahead, and she's going to run on a DMR, and she's going to run the Open 8 on Saturday. So we're kind of figure out where she's at. But very excited about her and what she's been able to do up until this point.
Awesome. My last question, I'll start with Coach Case, and then Coach Johnson, you can jump in if you want. You've got a lot of ranked teams coming in this weekend who are, as good or if not better in the rankings as you guys. What excites you about kind of an opportunity to showcase, what your athletes can do against some of these top teams in the country as we move towards the postseason for track and field?
Well, it's definitely a big test, and that's what we do here at Arkansas. We try to compete against the best week in and week out. And facility wise, we have the best indoor track in the world, and we draw a lot of these big teams and good teams, and it raises our level of competition. It raises our level that we compete at every weekend. That's how you get better, and that's how you qualify for nationals, and that's how you win national titles. So all that stuff strings together, and it does create a little atmosphere of energy, when you get to a meet and you've got five of the top 10 teams in the country in here, it can create a lot of energy.
Uh, much to echo on what Doug said. I think it's obviously this is a big meet for us. It's always been a great meet for us since we've since the induction of this track meet, and to see and the ranked teams have always been here, and we face some of the best, if not the best, competition all year, with the exception of SECs and the national championship. So our kids are excited about it. They're ready to go out and perform, and obviously this is the first big one for us. So we want to stay within ourselves, but we want to go out and compete really hard. Uh, this week is not just about, it's just kind of seeing where you measure up and what things you need to improve upon, but we're doing it at a very, very high level.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. That's all I got, Sean.
Yeah.
Thank you. Coach Case, one question on Saturday. One of the key events would be lining up with the mile with Ruben Reina in there, and also Yassine taking a crack at the mile this week as well.
Yeah. Obviously, Ruben had a great race a couple weeks ago and tied the school record, which was amazing. And that 3:55:40 is a great time for him. And he's going to come back and do it again this week, and along with Yassine, and we're going to see if we can get that thing even a little quicker. So both those guys are be in the heat together, and hopefully they can both run really fast, and maybe we can put that record a little quicker than it even is today. They're in great shape. I'll tell you this, and Coach Bucknam, I talked to him about it, and he said those guys are in spectacular shape right now. They're ready to go. They're hungry, and those are all the things. And you combine that, you get some good outcomes usually.
Good deal. Thank you. Coach Johnson, same with you on the women's side for Saturday event. The 800 Invitational lines up, obviously, Sanu and Anna, and then even Tiana from your squad, as well as some talented individuals from other teams. But in addition to that, to that race, what are some other things you're looking forward to with the Saturday races?
I mean, obviously, the 800 is going to be a phenomenal race. So hopefully it stays smooth and doesn't get mucked up with just people excited about being in a fast race and running fast. But obviously the 400s are something that is a staple of our program thus far. So we want to go out and see how these young ladies go out and compete against some of the top talent in the country. So the 400 and the 800 is going to be big for us. Obviously the hurdles and the dash is going to be trying to fill out our roster to see kind of where these young ladies are at. So really and honestly, we're excited about everything that we have on the track. Peyton Noe is going to run the mile and see where her foot speed's at. So this meet is very, very important, especially Saturday. And we always want to finish with a good 4x4. But that DMR on Friday is going to be lights out. Oregon's here with a host of others. And it's a much anticipated race. And we want to be able to try to see if we get a qualifier with that as well.
And even with that DMR, the depth you have in the 400 and now with the 8 in the mile gives you plenty of options of who you can run on something like that, on that type of a relay.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Good deal. Anybody else with a question?
Hey, I've got a couple of follow-ups, Sean. Hey,
Sure.
Doug, I see Jordan's on the list for the 60 runners this weekend. Was there any thought to running him in the 200?
Well, we're evaluating that right now. Matt, we're really going to see what he feels like Thursday, prior to that race. So that race is Friday night. So, he looks good. Like I said, he's in this big training cycle, and I'm just trying to get him back to where he feels good and is in really good track shape. But right now, we kind of plan to run that 200 Friday night. So I hope he feels good, and I hope we get that done because he looks great in practice. The guy's a competitor. I can't say much else about him, man. He's in it to win it, and he works hard, and he's going to do good.
Okay. And then, Chris, for you, Rachel Glenn didn't compete a couple of weeks ago, and I see her on the list as well. Is she feeling better?
Yeah, she's feeling better, and it wasn't because she couldn't compete. It was just a little bit precautious on our side of things. And
Yeah.
hey, we're looking for her to open up in the high jump, and she'll open up in the hurdles on Saturday. So she's got a full slate as well, and obviously she's a talented athlete. But we want her to be a little more confident and happy, and she seems to be in a really good spot. So we're looking forward to her opening up this weekend.
Okay, thank you.
Matt, some of these guys like Rachel and Jordan, that they're Ferraris, you know what I mean, and you kind of gotta control the situation for them because you can't race them all the time and you can't push them that hard in certain instances. So that's how I kind of look at that stuff, and you got to get them ready for the end of the year when we're trying to win national titles, and that's what our goal is, and I'm sure that's what Chris's goal is as well. So we have some caution on some of these great athletes and try and move them along to be good at the right time. So that's the way that works.
Okay, thanks.
Anybody else with a question? Alrighty. Appreciate everybody's time today. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you guys.
Thanks,
Thanks for
guys.
your time.
Thanks.